Searching the Greek text by semantic domains can help you to find verses with words related in meaning. Let's see how to search according to semantic domain from the command line. Begin your semantic domain search by setting your search version to a morphologically tagged Greek version, such as the BNM. I'll type BNM on the command line and then hit enter. Now place your cursor on the command line. Click the right mouse button to open the context menu. Select Insert Lounnida Domain Code. In the Lounnida Domains window, you can select the domain or subdomain that you wish to search. Use the scroll bar to navigate through the domains. In the Lounnida Domains, there is a domain for reconciliation and forgiveness. If I click on the domain 40, Reconciliation and Forgiveness, it loads a list of words into the right list box, Words in the selected domain. The Lounnida Domains window allows me to search for all of these words at the same time, so I can search for verses that pertain to the concepts of reconciliation and forgiveness. With that domain highlighted, I'll click Insert, and then Close. The domain numbers appear on the command line just like any word I might wish to search for. I'll hit Enter on my keyboard, and now I've conducted a search for all the words within the domain for reconciliation and forgiveness in the BNM. If you do not know the domain that you want to search but have a word in mind for which you want to search, you can identify the domains in which it belongs. Previously I was studying Mark, and I observed that Mark frequently uses the word fear. So perhaps I might want to search for a domain in which the word phobos appears, the Greek word that is translated feared or afraid in this verse. Again, I'll right-click on the command line and choose Insert Lounnida Domain Code. But as I have a specific word in mind, I'll use this box, Show Domains with this word. Here's the word I wish to search for, and I'll type its lemma into the box. Then hit Enter. Now I find that phobos appears in two different domains, attitudes and emotions and religious activities. And there's quite a bit of words that come up in the words in the selected domain for attitudes and emotions. I'll click on the plus sign here, and I find that there's a subdomain under attitudes and emotions for fear, terror, or alarm. So let me click on this subdomain. Let's see the subdomain for religious activities as well by clicking on the plus sign here. So phobos appears in the domain for fear, terror, and alarm, and also for worship and reverence. If I wish to search just this domain, I can enter it on the command line by making sure it is highlighted and then clicking Insert. Once the domain is entered, I can hit the Enter key, and I've conducted a search for that particular subdomain. But I can also search for both of those subdomains at the same time. Let's re-enter that first one, Fear, Terror, and Alarm, by clicking on it, so it's highlighted, and then clicking Insert. Then I'll hit the space bar, and I'll click on this other domain, Worship and Reverence, and click Insert. Now I'm not quite ready to run my search yet. Because I have the period for an AND search, that would require that a word from the first domain and the second domain appear in the verse. We should use an OR search for this particular search, which uses the /. So I'll need to click in the area right before my period, type in a /, and then delete the period. So I'm ready to conduct an OR search for words that include either of these subdomains. Notice the status bar. In my previous search, I found 183 verses when I was searching for just the one domain, Fear, Terror, and Alarm. So I expect to find more verses than that when I hit Enter. So let's conduct the search by hitting the Enter key. And I've now found 260 verses across the Greek New Testament that has words that appear in either of these subdomains, Fear, Terror, and Alarm, and worship and reverence. Now we were studying this in the book of Mark, so we could also set search limits by hitting L and then MAR, the book name for Mark, then hit enter, and then I'll use the up arrow to bring back my previous OR search. Let's see how many times both of these subdomains appear only in the book of Mark. So we have 18 verses to check. This might be a helpful study of how the concept of fear is used in the book of Mark, as I observed that fear seems to be used again and again as I was reading through the book of Mark. The semantic domain search terms are treated in the same way as a Greek word on the command line. You can use the domain search terms in conjunction with other Greek words. You can use the domain search even within a phrase search to stand in for one of the words in your phrase. And we've seen it's possible to add multiple domain search terms in one search, just like searching for multiple words in one search. You can even limit your domain search by a part of speech. The command line semantic domain search feature has the ability to add morphological codes to semantic domain searches. Once you've entered your domains, you can click following the domain and add morphological tags just like you would to a Greek word. Let's say that I wish to limit the two domains to search for just verbs within those domains. I can enter the @ sign following the domain, and then a V for verb, and then the asterisk for all following codes. And I'll do this following my second domain, 53.53 through 64. Enter the @ sign, V, and then asterisk. And again, we're searching just in Mark this time. I hit enter. Now I search for just verbs of fear or reverence related to phobos. And if I wish to search for these type of verbs throughout the whole Greek New Testament, I'll just remove the search limits by hitting L on the command line, hit enter, then I'll use the up arrow to bring back my two domains. I have the @ verb following each one, and it's an OR search with the /. I'll hit enter. And I've searched for just verbs pertaining to fear or reverence across the whole Greek New Testament.